first, we're going to talk a little bit about our friends over at Fox News. And first, I want to play, JR, if we can, clip number 7. And the reason I want to play that and the audio from it is that right now, this is the position that Fox wants to move on from the Tiller argument into talking about the person who went into, the deranged person who went into a recruiting station in Arkansas and killed 2 soldiers the other day. Can we listen to clip number 7?
Tonight, the murder of Private William Long. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Last night we told you about the murder of George Tiller, the late-term abortion doctor in Kansas, shot dead by an anti-government militant while he attended church last Sunday. We also told you that NBC News and other ultra-liberal outlets were blaming me and Fox News for inciting the killer. Now we have the murder of 23-year-old William Long, an Army private allegedly murdered by a Muslim militant in Arkansas. Police say 24-year-old Abdul Hakim Mohammed, a.k.a. Carlos Bledsoe, a convert to Islam, told the cops he killed Private Long and another soldier, he wounded the other soldier, because of what the military had done to Muslims. So here is my question. Is NBC News complicit in the murder of Private Long? After all, that network has relentlessly branded the United States as a torture nation, a country run by human rights violators. Didn't NBC News incite Mr. Mohammed to kill the soldier? The answer is no. The killer is a loon. The media had nothing to do with it. That is the truth. However, Private Long's situation will not be heavily debated on NBC News because they're not much interested in the truth. Brian Williams is a big problem here. Last night, as managing editor of the Nightly News, he allowed a correspondent to highlight me as a villain in the Tiller situation. Williams takes his orders directly from NBC President Jeff Zucker, a committed liberal, who has completely ruined the news operation, turning it into the most far-left outfit in the history of broadcasting. Zucker has also destroyed NBC's primetime entertainment lineup. Now, if you saw the hate MSNBC spewed last night, there can be no question that NBC News is now totally out of control. Remember, NBC has never, ever said a negative word about Tiller's activities, which include aborting an estimated 60,000 fetuses, many of them viable. Tiller became a millionaire doing this, earning the disdain of millions. In fact, according to Gallup, 72% of Americans object to late-term abortion. 36 states have laws against it. Only 3 clinics in the entire country destroy fetuses after 21 weeks. But you'll never hear any of that on NBC News.
Yeah, you're never going to hear any of that about NBC News because NBC News is not about inciting people to do anything. NBC News is about reporting what's going on in the real world. Bill O'Reilly comes into his broadcasts and Fox News comes into their broadcasts with an agenda. If Bill O'Reilly has a problem with what NBC News is doing, it's only because they are responding to what he is doing in the first place. There's a big difference between inciting and responding. NBC News is reporting what's going on. It's not unheard of or fabricated to say that Fox News at least is being mentioned as fanning the flames of what was going on in the anti-abortion movement. And it's not about what Tiller was doing. It's about the fact that someone walked into his office and murdered him, and people within the world of Fox are celebrating that. And I think that the whole idea that we have to start concentrating on is not so much what Bill O'Reilly's saying about NBC and this sort of playground back and forth. I mean, nobody really cares about that. It's good TV, perhaps. It's not as good at radio. But what I do think is important is to continue to highlight what Bill O'Reilly is doing. I mean, he's just said that the murder, and he's saying it isn't, then why bother mentioning it? He's saying that is NBC complicit in the murder of these 2 people, these 2 soldiers in Arkansas, because they have been, talking about torture? No, NBC is talking about torture because America was torturing. They're reporting it because America was reporting, because America was, doing torture. to enemy combatants, is what we called them. And that is simply un-American. It is illegal, and it was skirting the laws of the Constitution. So I think that if you want to talk about what NBC is doing, you can. But they're reporting on torture because it was happening. And if you want to say that George Tiller, if you want to keep calling him Tiller the Killer, Tiller the Killer, Tiller the Killer, yes, in fact, you are complicit, and you are inciting something. I'm not saying that you are inciting the murder of Tiller, but I am saying that the fact that there was terrorism against this doctor, domestic terrorism against an abortion doctor in America, it's been incited by you, Bill O'Reilly, in some respect. I didn't say you said go pick up a gun and shoot him, but you kept calling him Killer the Tiller, and you kept bringing it up, and you kept talking about how unconscionable it was, and kept not saying that, kept avoiding the idea that violence against this guy would be something wrong. And I have to say that I think it's foolish to listen to it, but I think it's important to watch it. So, in continuing with the theme here, it's important to watch what Bill O'Reilly is saying so that you are more motivated to tell people to turn Fox News off when you see it in a public place. And I just think it's that important.
Can't get enough of the Young Turks? Well, then subscribe to the TYT's YouTube channel. What's the matter with you?